which is the nation of Israel. You painted everybody that was black and great white and claimed yourself to be those people. For example, William Shakespeare, hold the book. That's the name of the book. William Shakespeare. Now in the front of this book, you got a picture that was painted over. This is actually was a picture of a black man, and you painted white paint over it, and you painted it so white, it's so obvious that there's a black face under there. When you use what they call X-ray photography, you can see the black image underneath the skin. But that's not good enough. That's not good enough. They're saying that this is Shakespeare in the front of the book, right? But guess what? They always say they like to make blacks sit in the back of the bus. So I use common sense and I said, let me go in the back of the book. Maybe they got a real image of it.
Let me say this. You can look at that picture and see it's not right. You can see that it's been whitewashed.
Whitewashed and tampered with.
Because it's incredibly whitewashed.
Right, because it's too white. That's how you know they painted over. But now, when I go in the back of this same book called William Shakespeare, A Documentary Life, let's see what it says. In the back of this book on page 254. Oh my goodness, I don't believe this. I'm going to read it first, then I'm going to show it, shock and amaze the daggone audience. It says, the monument installed in 1605 is relation to Shakespeare, the monument of William Shakespeare. There it is. Now, do that look like the same guy that we saw in the front of the book, the Dennis the Menace type looking character? Hell no. This is clearly the image of a black man, and it says the first folio of him. See what it says right there? First folio. First photograph, in other words, of him painted during his lifetime of him writing a book or writing a play. It shows William Shakespeare, a black man. I can read the rest of the rest. It says, Shakespeare. You see that? Shakespeare. That's who that is, if anybody wondering who it is. Installed in 1605. They try to write it in a way where they try to confuse you, but if you're smart, you know it's him. Installed in 1605 is discussed in relation to Shakespeare monument. Shakespeare. First folio. What is that telling you? That this is the first image that they painted of him. And what is he? A black man.
Yeah, you can look at the face, the hand.
The hair, everything. He's black. Do that look anything? You got that picture over there because I can hand it over here.
And the hands also.
Let's compare these two pictures. And the brother over there got it. We're going to compare. Let's see what happens. I think he got it over there in that little small book. We're going to bring it over here in 1 minute. And we're going to put, will the real William Shakespeare stand up? This is the first image that was ever painted of him. Now, all these other images that you see of him is all whitewash and Renaissance. If he don't got it, I got it in the front of this book. I got it right here in the front of the book now. That don't look a damn thing like this, do it? Because that's how you devils operate. You so-called white people, you like to paint over everything and cover it up and lie about it. Bastards going to pay for that. That's the fake image of Shakespeare, and now here's the real image. In the back of this book on Shakespeare, the real image of William Shakespeare. And you know why they put it in the back of the book? So that the scholars can get it. They figure a nigga might open this book up and see it in the front and they might get scared and run with it.
You know what that remind me of? They always want to put Jakes in the back.
In the back of the bus, right. That's why they got this picture in the back. Because that's how the devil operates. Satan operates in that fashion. You can bring the picture here now. We're showing the real photograph of Shakespeare versus the fake Renaissance photograph of Shakespeare. The real photograph, get this on camera. The real photograph of Shakespeare versus the fake. Will the real William Shakespeare stand up? There he is. Clearly the image of a black man. This whole thing here ain't nothing but the work and artistry of the devil that we read in the book of Job. He covers the faces of the judges there. So much for Dennis the Menace. The real William Shakespeare is here. in the back of this book on a life and documentary of William Shakespeare. But only a scholar can point this thing out and pick it out. So you little Negroes, you walk by the bookstore every day and you don't know what's in there. You open up a book and still don't see what's in there. You can read the whole book and never knew he was in there. They would convince you that this is Popeye or Pluto. Because you don't have any brains. You can't think worth a damn. That's why we have to come on TV and teach you. You want to say something? What's up? Okay. Now, we had to go in there and show that. Just like we have to go in here and show this. I have to keep reiterating these things. I said that the Jews were controlling Europe during the Middle Ages. And they went under many different names that the white man named them in this time. Byzantine Empire and all that. You see the name of that book? Jewish Life in the Middle Ages. What yeah, Jewish Life in the Middle Ages.
Okay.
You so-called Jews ought to be ashamed of yourself, letting us little Negroes get a hold of these books. What do you think we're going to do with them? Sit there and look at them and pray? We're going to get on TV and we're going to blast the hell out of you with these books. Because we got sense enough to realize that these books got the truth in it. And that you devils don't want nobody to know the truth.
Let me say this. I ain't going to give you bastards the credit because the Most High said that he was going to make these books be around.
And that's what he did.
So you couldn't help yourself.
Right. He had you in a trance. Here's a photograph of a Jewish rabbi in Italy in the 1400s. Holding the Torah. Clearly the image of a Negro. Clearly.
Wait a minute. Let me come up a little closer on it.
Jewish rabbi. Look like the Rothschild collection. Clearly a Negro. A rabbi in Italy. What year? 1400. Before Columbus. You bastards know that we're the Jews. Now get a white boy out of that. Get Shaq Ravine out of that. Or Shimon Peres out of that. Them devils gonna pay. Now I'm gonna show another picture of a Jew in his house, kneeling down near his bed, and got Hebrew written up all over the thing. See that? Here's a Jew kneeling down at his bed. Black man, black Jew, Hebrew, Negro, Israelite. Look at him. Look like one of the brothers in the school. Up above him is Hebrew, is Syrian Hebrew. See that? You damn devils don't got nothing. Just shut your mouth at home. You don't know nothing. You don't know a lot of things. That's why we have to come out and teach you, because you're ignorant as hell, you so-called white people. Running around claiming to be black. How stupid can you be? Now get something white out of that. You want to be a Jew. You want to be everything except the devil that the Bible speaks of. That's who you are. We'll go in here and get some other pictures. Yeah, we ain't through with you yet. We just started with you. We ain't nowhere near through with you devils. You're going to be black. Here's a Jewish family buying groceries. Get somebody white out of that. There's the father, there's the kids, the mother is in there and all that. Every one of them is black.
Yeah, look at their hands.
You devils got a lot to pay for, boy. These don't look like the people that live on Eastern Parkway that be running in the synagogue to me.
Let me get a little good long look at that.
Look at the Negroid facial features and hair and dark skin and everything.
Let me get a long, good look at that.
Get a good look at that. That's a good Jewish family. Black!
So they can see everything on there.
Them devils, you gonna pay.
So they can see those are black people.
And what you got to say about that? This was during the Middle Ages. A lot of you devils like to say that the Jews was black during the time of Moses. Well, hell, this book is from the Middle Ages. Now, what you got to say now? They didn't change. It's showing you that lie that you got out, talking about the Jews were black when they was in, Egypt?
In the Middle East.
In the Middle East, but they went to Europe and turned white. Well, listen, knucklehead, I got a book about the Jews living in Europe. And I ain't caught a white one in here yet.
Because of the climate.
well, this climate didn't work on this group here. Talking about the Jews turned white. It's just as simple as they can be. They don't know nothing.